screen. Here we go. Let's see. I have been having a challenging technology today, so let's hope that this is going to work just lovely. There we go. All right, here we are. I'm live. How exciting. All right, let me copy this over onto the website. Website is jollyrogerukulele.com. Come and sit in on our lesson today. Today we are doing Don't Fence Me In and Ghost Riders in the Sky. Both of those are new as of this morning. Well, that's not exactly true. Don't Fence Me In was something we had done in the past. And Ghost Riders, we did it as a ensemble experience. So both of them, they're not completely new off the shelf, but they are definitely new arrangements as of this morning. And so let me go post our link here. Click, 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 click. That should get everybody in. And let me make sure that I have them in my gadget here, which I'm positive I do not. So let me go get those loaded on. All right, then click here and patience. Jolly Roger. Songs. And your patience. And then you go to your download button. Download into Ukulele. Go back over to the cloud. All right, we're going to do Don't Fence Me In. So make sure, give yourself a minute to get those set up. And we're brand new just a few hours ago, so I know none of you guys have the correct sheet music yet. Someday in life I will be ahead of everybody and I will have everything done at the beginning of the week, but that isn't really how I'm able to work my career here. Don't Fence Me In. I don't need that one. Don't Fence Me In. Ukulele. Don't Fence Me In. Baritone. And the other one is Ghost Riders. Ghost Riders. Whoops. Ghost Riders. Baritone. Ghost Riders. Ukulele. Download. Okay. Okay. It's alright. Okay. So I think we did something with Ghost Riders last year, maybe a year ago or so. And, okay, I should just hit always and then I'd be fine. Okay, so now I think I've got what I need. Let's go tweet this, shall we? Tuff-er, Ukulele, howdy y'all. Howdy y'all. Go on. Whoops. Cowboy music, come on, music for the ukulele space. All right, tab https://jollyrogerukulele.com and add the cowboy picture on. Tuff Uke, Kick Your Fanny Friday, scroll down, yeehaw, tweet, and tweeted. All right, isn't that a pretty graphic? I wish I'd have done that horse person. That looks cool. All right, so let's close this little dialog box. Let's make sure that the current version, the current link is working properly. Okay, get out. What I tell you to do. Storage, download, ukulele. Oh, this is so ridiculous, this world we live in. If we had known when we were children, we were going to spend the rest of our lives poking at plastic pieces of screen, and we would have just, I don't think we would have studied so hard. I think we'd have just given up early. Those of us who were Generation X, we gave up a long time ago. We're just like, yeah, it's not going to get any better. They're making us put parental guidance on our music. Let's see. Don't Fence Me In. There it is. Don't Fence Me In. Don't Fence Me In ukulele style. What time is it? 1:05. Let's get going. Let's see how much we can get done today. Good morning, everybody. Let's see who made it in. Lynn is in from New Jersey. It's beautiful. Red is here. We need to. You need to automate. I know, right? Here, Lynn. Here's what I. I think this is a gun. That's what I want to do with computers. You need to automate. Everything I do is by hand, and then I post it. It's so old-fashioned. I'm just a fossil. Who can automation? Automation is that's what Macintosh is for, right? Poke, 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 and music comes out. LG sounds good. I thought she said it sounds so good, and I was like, oh gosh, so much wind, which is usually followed by sunshine. All right, blowing out the winter, Linda, and blowing in springtime. That's what you're working on up there in Vancouver. Linda is back in. Did it? I mean, sorry, Linda. I think I cut you off before I answered your question. It is a separate link from the daytime class or from the early class and the later class. That way they get posted separately so that people don't. I mean, already when somebody pulls up an hour and a half or a 45-minute lesson, they're like, I'm not doing that. I know for me, if I look at if somebody sends me a video and it's longer than 3 minutes, probably zero chance I'm actually going to watch it. Terry says, after a year of isolation, don't fence me into the room, right? Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Glenda is in. I heard you take off. Called Ghost Chickens. Yeah, I think I've heard that one before. That's funny. Vic is in. Sound is good up in Eugene. Got a low G in with the low G uke. What the heck? Vic is getting low. Evelyn, 68 degrees, partly cloudy up in Cuenca. Looking forward to more Calvin music. The sound is good. I'm looking forward to it too. Sandy is in. It's cloudy and 55. Snow is melting and the sap is running. It's a great day up in northern Michigan. There we go, Sandy. Such a positive person. Clay, welcome in, buddy. In from Santa Rosa, California. Janice in from Scotland. Beautiful day. She's been out riding her bike up in Scotland, so that's exciting. Janice, it's probably late for you now that I think about it. That's been one of the challenges of coming to this hour of the class. Isn't it like 8 or it's probably 9 o'clock where you are, I would think. Amy is in. She's a local. Diane is also here, local. Elizabeth in from northern Colorado. 48, sunny-ish. She started with 11 squirrels this morning, down to 4 squirrels on the feeder. The orange there. You got Orange Tabby coming around to hang out, huh? Yeah, I always think if you're a cat, squirrels seem like too much work, don't they? Linda's in from Hawaii. Good to see you, Linda. Carol in from western Colorado. Partly cloudy. No complaints. See, all of us are starting to feel spring a little bit. 70 finally cracked 70 degrees in New Mexico. Ronnie's been dealing with some cold weather down there. Finally warming up correctly. Chris is in. She's local. Donna's local. Linda, let's see. Good afternoon. I'm back. Linda's in. She's waiting on her hand to get feeling better, so she's getting close though. Jacqueline, also local. Hey, Jacqueline. Nancy is in. She's local. She lives in Florida. That's where I live in my head. I've been watching all these videos of people partying down at Nancy's house and wondering what the heck she's doing down there. Laurel in from Laurel. You're not late. You're just on time. Q, hanging out. Hit the like button, she says. I'm working on that free puppy. I am. Just 8 p.m. All right. Getting dark. All right. So it's not, I guess that's not too bad, right? I don't know. It's 8 p.m. in Scotland. Isn't that exciting? Clay. Barbara is in, and Jennifer's here. Yeah, don't send me a puppy. Henry can't get along with anybody except, he gets along with all people, but he can't get along with other pets. So we had another cat for a while, and it didn't go so well. Turns out he's a one cat kind of cat. Don't fence me in. I think, honestly, those people who are anti-maskers, this is their theme song. It runs in their head day and night. All right. Some of you may be anti-maskers. I hope you're not. G chord, D7, and C, right? Is there anything else? Oh, there's an E7 in here. And that might be it. This is, these are the this is the thing we love about country music, cowboy music. It tends to be fairly simple chord structure, and so it tends to be a little bit fun to play, right? Pauline made it in, Patricia made it in, Michelle made it in. Good to see all of you guys. All right, I'm going to sing. You're going to die. 1, 2, 3, for rest. Oh, give me land, lots of land, underneath the starry skies. Don't fence me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Gotta turn the page. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me out forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in. Just turn me loose, let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western skies. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see a mountain rise. I want to ride to the edge where the west commences. Gaze at the mountain till I lose my senses. I can't look at hovels and I can't man fences. Don't fence me in. Okay. That's it. That's the song. And the sillier you make it, the better it is. Fascinating. One of the back in high school, one of the things that in advanced placement history we studied was the fencing in of the West and how the cattlemen saw the West as mine, like I can do whatever I want here. And then the farmers showed up and they started putting fences around because the cattle would run over their gardens, and it got all upset and people started fencing off land and the whole thing, and it became an issue. And for those people who wander around the United States talking freedom, they should know that that's not a new issue at all. They made that up as an issue. It was really about fences, right? Guess who won? The fence people won. So this has got some historical context to it. Let's talk about. I don't necessarily think we need to spend a ton of time on the melody. I notice now, oh, give me, that's really a pickup, right? Oh, give me land, lots of land. And so, but I gave you the standard 4-beat count in plus a rest. And so if I was probably to attack this, I would just ignore that zero measure. So that's probably how I would attack it. I would say with this one, it's one shot straight through. The whole song is just one time through. There's no repeats here, so you don't have a chance to just to pluck it versus strum it and try it different ways. So you want to do it both ways in practice. Figure out which way you like the best, whether feels like a plucker to you. It might work that way, or a strummer. You could do it that way too. Let's talk about a musical theory issue here. Hey, Kat. And Christine made it in representing one half of Bozeman. There's two. Well, for a while there were three. I don't know where the other Bozeman person was, but we had the town Bozeman and the suburbs Bozeman. Let's TV westerns, yeah, right. This is that kind of. So the fence wars led us to TV westerns. Yeah, the fence wars were a real problem. People got killed over putting up fences. Let's talk about a musical issue here. You see the threes? Those are triplets, okay? And but there's only two notes in there. Well, so what you should be seeing is let me ride through the wide open country that I love, right? So it gets a raggedy feel to it when you have two notes under a triplet. What's really going on there, they're squeezing three eighth notes into the space that would normally be reserved for they're squishing extra notes in there is what they're doing. And for the most part, as a player, I sort of ignore it a little bit. I know that they're there. I know that I want to get a jaggedy, a raggedy kind of feeling through there. Dum 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 da da dum da 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 dum 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 dum. So you're getting that kind of a galloping feel to it, and I think it is theoretically possible to count those out. But I think when you spend a lot of time overthinking counting, your music starts to sound like you're counting. I'll give you one example. I don't like to pick on my orchestra members too much, except for all of the time. Years ago, I did an arrangement of Nirvana Medley, Kurt Cobain and all this stuff. And when I handed it out, it wasn't a particularly challenging piece, honestly. You just had to just not count it, just feel it. But of course, my audience members are used to counting it, and so they counted, and it was the jankiest thing I ever heard of. And so we immediately got rid of it. Like, this is not going to happen. And so sometimes when you're counting, it will sound like you're counting. And the reason you count in the beginning of a piece of music is so you can learn how it goes. But then after a while, you should know how it goes. Your body should be feeling it, and you should stop counting, and you should let the music be flowing through you. And this now, there are a handful of music teachers who come to this class, and right now they're wanting to poke their eyes out. But the purpose of counting is to help you learn the song. It is not something that you need to do necessarily through the entire song, especially on shorter things. Now, long notes, I think there's a definite reason to count those. When you get to "They'll give me land, lots of land underneath the starry skies. Don't fence me in 2, 3. Let me ride through a place like that." It makes sense to count because you don't want to come in early. And so I will always count my longer notes. There's certainly dotted halves and whole notes. I almost always count those. But if you're counting all these little ones, the reason you're counting it is to learn how the song goes and to see how it's set up. But then after that, let the music flow through you. It will sound better. I really do think that. Let's see what's going on over here. In high school, we were to make anti-smoking posters, and a teacher suggested of using this song as the cigarettes would be pickets. we said hi outside of Bozeman. Oh, look at there! Look at that! All right. Anyway, yeah, right. I don't know. What are we talking about here? You guys are crazy. Let's play through the tough uke part of it. If you are not quite up to tough uke and you just want to play the melody, do that. Obviously, if you're on baritones, you're giving me the chords. Let's not go so fast the first time through. Just be mindful on those triplets. Just let the music flow in you. You know how the song goes. Yo da dun dum da da dum da da dum ba dum ba dum. So it gets that little bit of a galloping feel. That's what those end up doing for you. From the top, not fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Chord. 2, 3. Okay, now I want to talk about that little arrangement there. That 5 going to 3. I could have done a 0 on the first string, but then you have no hope of doing a slide, right? In the evening breeze, and so I put a 5 there. I'm not positive if it ended up on the baritone version of it, but that's why I put that 5 there, so you could slide it down. Okay, breeze. Okay, and I don't usually put those in, but sometimes they're kind of fun. That slide is sort of an advanced concept. Okay, I've seen guitar books where they talk about the slide in chapter 1. And that's goofy. This is an advanced technique. Evening breeze. Okay, and then go on to page 2. Here we go. Ready, play. Again, another place for you to slide. Okay, and so that whole section there, it's all on one string. Slide it around. Get that slide guitar feeling in there, that cowboyish blah 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 blah, right? And then at measure 15, you've got bar 7, 8 and 8. Okay, so that's pretty hard. What I would do at bar 7, and then put your middle finger on 8, and then the melody note you're going to tuck under with your ring. And you could slide it down. You could do, and just slide your bar down. You might get a little bit of a bend in there. And then measure 16. Go from there. Go. Bum 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 bum. Through that section, I left it pretty unadorned. I was like, man, hit that C chord and then see how much of the notes you can get in there. When you have something like that, we got a ton of ragged triplets in there, along with just the need for speed. You will tend as an arranger to get rid of some of the chords. I don't, but a lot of times you'll see this in a lot of places where you will tend to simplify the amount of times you're hitting chords because you've got a lot of complex melody going on, and that's exactly what's going on here. Is you want to get the melody clean, and since the chord's a C, you don't need to overthink that. So that's what you're going on there. Let focus in on getting the melody timing where it matches the way it's sung, and I think you'll be happy with that. Even though we lose all of the chording in there, not really lose it, but it's just not showing up as prominently as we typically do. Let's go to measure 20 and play that little arpeggio, and then move on. 1, 2, 3, 4. That messy 8 again. Okay, or either one of those. Yeah, let's play it again. Okay, play it straight through. This is one of those fun songs that you tend to speed up and speed up and speed up. Well, I'll try not to speed up, but it's sort of a natural thing. Especially when you get raggedy rhythms in there like this. Right through the wide open country that I love. You have a tendency to speed up a little bit as you go along. Try not to do that. I'll try not to do that. You just play along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Next page. that fun? Super fun. Be clear on those E7s where you've got to be bar 8, bar 7, and then 2 8s. You're going to get away just fine with just playing the 8. So if that's too much, when you get there, let's starting at measure 30, for example. So you can just jump up, play the melody there, but it does sound pretty cool if you can get your bar on it and the 2 8s on there. Kind of hard to get on. And that sounds cool. That's a fun chord. Or so I'd say give it a try. It's worth doing it. The other thing, that's a high point in the song, right? So when you are in an orchestra, like if we were in our orchestra, we'd have to have a long talk about that, about how we're going to handle that when we get to it. Where's the first time I showed it? It shows up in measure 15. Send me off forever, but I ask you, please. We might slow way down so that everybody could have an opportunity to do it. And then we pick the pace up again. Right? It's okay. And as a soloist, you really, really, really want to take advantage of those moments when you have a high spot in the song. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's really hard to play. I'm going to take some extra time and make sure I get it right. I would say if you're a professional musician, you might not do that. But as an amateur musician, you absolutely will do it because you're. And then add a little bit of show business. Look up at your audience, put a goofy face on while you're creating that moment, and see if. Better to get it right at a slower speed than get it wrong at the correct speed, is my opinion on that. All right, let's grab the baritone version of it. Let's see if how many mistakes I made on it. Don't fence me in. Isn't that a fun song? I mean, I love it. Let's see here. And by the way, those of you guys who've been around a while, you know how this works, but I only put modern songs, anything after 1925, or I think we're up to 26 now. That can be laying around on the front page of this website and on the ukulele tab and all that stuff. But anything that's after that is still under copyright. And so I take that off of the main website and put it in the members area. And that's another reason why, one, you want to make sure to show up every day so that you can get all of the music. But more importantly, that's another reason to become a member, so that you don't have to necessarily carry around 300 pieces of music. You can just leave it on the website and come pick it up whenever you need it. That member section now has over 300 pieces of music in it, and that's ridiculous. And so I was going to look it up before I brought this up, but I think the Beatles catalog includes about 350 songs. So you should just know you've got an entire career's worth of music hanging out on the website. So make sure that you're a member and you come and play some of it, right? All right. Don't fence me in. Baritone style ukulele player. Here's your D chord. Looks like that. Your A7 is a sweet one, right? You like that one. And then what else is in here? You have a G chord on ukulele, which hopefully you know, and then your B7 is a bar with your middle finger up. Bar 2, A7 shape in front of it. So A7, B7. Okay, and we talked about it. I can't remember when one of you guys said, hey, I need to learn my chords up the neck. They're all bar chords up the neck, and I have a sheet for that. And one of these days I'm going to figure out how to fit that into a conversation that we have and make sure that you all have a copy of that. It's part of the music theory stuff. I've been starting to gather all my music theory stuff into one place in the computer, so probably won't be that long before I begin to plague you with that stuff. All right, don't fence me in. Linda says, I give up. I love the chat bar goes and it's just at the last thing it says, I give up. Linda, hang in there, man. All right, don't fence me in. Baritone style, same thing, not too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Or there we go. And that's a D. Key of D in on baritone always sounds pretty nice, right? That sounds pretty cool. That's really a D instrument. All right, Ghost Riders in the Sky. Now, I don't know if Kari logged in. I can't remember. She's in our one of our more advanced groups in town, and they did a version of this Ghost Riders. They just took my basic lead sheet and turned it into this whole thing, and so it's kind of fun to play this with a lot of different players, right? Where everybody does something silly, and and you have a whip crack and all this other stuff in there, and it can be kind of a lot of fun. Yeah. Now, the ukulele version of this is in A minor, which is the version that what's his face, Johnny Cash, does it. It's way too low. An old cowboy went riding out one dark and windy day. Upon a ridge he rested as he went along his way, when all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw. So it's really low, and Johnny Cash does it in A minor. I was initially going to give you a different key, but it ended up, the only other one that works at all on ukulele is G minor, and then you end up with a ton of B flats and E flats in it, and I was like, no, you'd rather this be playable than to be singable, is my general thought. And if you were going to convert this into another key, D minor is one I for sure would recommend. And then you just have to do the thing, right? A minor, B minor, okay, I got some C's, so that's the third, and then I have some F's, so A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So then I would be D minor, E, F minor, and D, E, F, G, A, and B's, B7s probably, right? So then I would go, an old cowboy went riding out one F, dark and wind. An old cowboy went riding out one dark and windy day. So if you're going to sing it, I'd recommend converting it to D minor. And if I remember right, it's only a 3-chord song. You have some F's, and then yeah, that's all you got. It's a 3-chord song. And no wonder it's famous. And play it that way if you're going to sing, if you like singing it. But for playing it in A minor is sweet. Okay, so let's make sure you know your chords. A minor, baritones, A minor is right here. That's what it looks like, D minor. Okay, your C chord, of course, and baritones, your C chord looks like this. And then ukulele players, your F chord here, and baritone, you got that bad boy right there. Okay, so you guys give me the chords or the melody, and then we'll run through it one time. There's a couple plays I want to stop and talk. Okay, so from the top, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3-beat count in. 1, 2, 3. have to talk. Here's the problem with this song. It's very big, right? And so it's going to go all the way up to 12, and right before that, you have this weird A minor up on 7. Now, I decided that playability and speed is going to be more important than getting a complete, full, beautiful chord. If you are playing this slowly, you see how it's a 7, 8, 9? You also want to hold down the upper 9. So what you're going to be doing is putting your D minor shape up on 7. Okay, but I decided this 9 was not important, so I just got rid of it. And much easier, much faster to play. Just take your E minor shape, slide it up to 7, and that's your chord. If you hit this one, you get the jazz chord out of it, which sounds super cool, but it probably doesn't fit the mood of the song, right? When all at once, you're like, wait a minute. That sounds actually lovely, right? You're just wanting to get that song. So this would be a place where plucking will go to your advantage. And then you're going to, now these 12s, I hate 12s. I hate them. I hate them. But again, if I go into any other key, then it ends up too low on the ukulele. So we're going to have these 12s. When you have 12s, you have to say to yourself, I can do this. This is important. Gary wouldn't give me 12s unless there was no better alternative. And then when you have 12, don't get them close, right? Go up there, lay your bar on. You got the 12s coming up in measure 10. So you do this beautiful, when all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he. Okay, so that little section there, and it's going to come up twice in the song, which means it's going to come up 4 times. It's going to come up a lot. When you go to measure 8, that's where all this starts to come together. You see that 7, you hit the 3, slide up to the 7 with your index finger, his way. Hit the upper 7 while you're putting your minor shape on. And then just go grab your 12. Then come right back to the 7 minor shape. And then you're back to playing normal music, okay? But really, when you see a 12, your audience is begging you, take time to get it right. Okay? It sounds fun. It'll sound super cool. And you think about it, Johnny Cash is singing A minor when all at once he's there, but he's got that ability with his voice, right? Even his super low voice had the ability to pull itself up to that spot. And when you get, all I'm saying is when I give you a 12, it's because there wasn't any better choice, right? And so just take time to get it on really good and solid, and even if you're a little bit late, get to the note, and then down to the 7, and then so let's go to 12, and that's where everything comes back together. From 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Page 2. See, I didn't get it right. All right, so we'll go with that minor shape. a whole new section, and the nice part about this section is that it's pretty high melody wise, but the chords simplify enough where you don't have to be quite so worried about it. That repeat, and we're going to go all the way back to the beginning. Let's see. What I see some stuff going on over here. Let me see. Sandy says, sounds good on my low G. Good. Yeah, right. Getting so much music, I think I need to get a second notebook. Do I divide the middle of the alphabet? If I had a second notebook, first I'd be putting ukulele sheets in one notebook and baritones in the other notebook. That's probably what I would be doing. I think I think your idea there, Q, makes some sense. First half of the alphabet and second half of the alphabet. Linda says, put it in your iPad. Don't confuse yourself. Especially if you're going to all these strum-along groups. I know our local strum-along group, both the Boulder group and the Denver group, have been putting out, strumming sheets for years and years and years, and you end up with an insane amount of paper. You almost need to go electronic. There aren't many ukulele players out here. Would I have to travel an hour to find a group? I would have to travel an hour to find a group. Jennifer's point is well taken. There are lots of you guys who live in areas that don't have ukulele groups. And there's a part of me that says, you know what that means? You guys are responsible for that, right? And that means that you put an ad in the local grocery store, you put an ad on Facebook, you hey, I'm starting a little ukulele group in my neighborhood. Hit me up if you want to be involved. And of course, you start off with the basics, right? Somewhere over the rainbow way up high. You lure them in with that, right? and then you start throwing the other stuff at them. But yeah, if you don't have a ukulele group in your area, give some thought to starting one. There's no degree requirement to do that. I started a ukulele group. What I did was I went down to our one here in Denver, and I decided strumming and singing wasn't quite exactly the way I wanted to play ukulele. I wanted to play at the next level. I checked with a few of them, and they some of them were sort of thinking about it, but weren't really taking the ball by, taking it over the idea. And by the way, we're going to play this time the second time through. So head up to the top of Ghost Riders. What time is it? We got enough time. And I thought, you know what? I'll just start teaching a class on tablature. And then that led into me having these other groups. But yeah, don't be shy, right? There are ukulele players in your neighborhood. That's the thing. Call around to either a music school that's nearby, call around to a community center and say, hey, I'm thinking about having a ukulele class. Would you be open to... Now, here's the thing. You want to make sure that you don't get stuck for the rent. On my orchestra, I am stuck for the rent. But when you're getting started, find a place that you can have, a handful of people come together. Start it off small. Get a few people who are dedicated. And they don't have to be that dedicated, but they have to be willing to do that. And then how the local groups here work is Doug will send out an email saying, hey, I need songs for our theme this month is drinking songs. Send me some drinking songs. And so everybody will send him in some sheets. And then if it goes well, then he'll just send the book out with all the sheets in it. If it doesn't go well, he sends out a second email. Hey, I only have 7 songs. I need 12. Send me 5 more. And then he'll send out the book. And I think that's an awful lot of work. But the other way to do that, there's a book out there, the Halifax ukulele group, HUG, H-U-G, Halifax, and their book is about 700 pages long, and it's every song that you're going to do anyway is in there for singing and strumming. Just go download that and tell people, hey, download this. We're going to play pages 7 through 12 next week or whatever. Then you don't have to do anything other than tell people when and where to be and which songs to work on. I like that system a whole lot better. This business of every month you have a new theme, you got to collect songs from people. It's an awful lot of work for not a lot of benefit, in my opinion. So yeah, but go check out, if you haven't already, go find a Halifax ukulele group out of Canada. They had their songbook. I think, like the last time I checked, it was 700 some pages, 700 songs in there, or some insane amount, all set up with basic chords, C's, F's, G's, that type of chords. And then you just get together and you say, hey, we're going to play pages 12 through 17. And everybody just gets together and you show up and spend an hour. Try to work in it around lunch or having a beer, those two things. If you can work around having a beer, you will have a group. There's no question about it. So let's see. There's that. Let's see. Linda says, during normal times, I would go to 6 or 7 a week in Maui. So yeah, well, if you just moved to Maui, you got plenty, plenty of ukulele groups. No, I will hit up the local library. Yeah, if you want to play, be aware of the style of music that you guys play here in this group is a lot harder, obviously, than what you would go to typically. But you can absolutely just use this sheet music and strum it, right? Oh, cowboy, we're riding down one dark and windy day. The thing you know about my music is not, I didn't just accidentally end up on the paper like a lot of the strum stuff does. This has been, curated and carefully thought through, and so this stuff will work pretty well for you. Hard to find a good leader. I think that's the key, and there's no reason why you can't be that leader, right? Danny is here. A tin cup helps. Yeah, right. Good to see you, Danny. I haven't talked to you in a while. Michelle, the library has a program, and we have a group in town called the Salty Strings, right? I would say we started. The orchestra itself started about 6 of the 12 strum groups that meet in libraries around here. Most librarians these days get it. They want community involvement. They want things, so they'll let you have the the community room. And of course, you got to follow all their rules and stuff. But most librarians would be delighted to have, because ukulele is not loud. It doesn't mess up the rest of the stuff going on in the library. And so that's where I for sure start. Call over and say, hey, I want to start a ukulele group. All right, so we were going to play it the second time through. Let's do that. We will skip tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll get the baritone version of this in. How about that? Let's just play one time, top to bottom, ukulele version, and then tomorrow, baritone player. Sorry, shortage on that. We'll play the baritone version of this tomorrow. First thing, we'll start more on time, and we'll play the Ghost Riders baritone version tomorrow. From the top, one time through, first shot, best shot, not fast. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 7, 8, 9, 12. 9, 8, 7, 12. There you go. There you go. So got a little distracted on talking about ukulele groups, but yeah, our libraries are still closed. Probably outdoors is best. Yeah, I think obviously this is the time you are planning getting a group together. Maybe not necessarily quite starting it. The problem with outdoors is ukulele is very quiet, so you do end up having to sit kind of close in a circle to hear one another, and so that's I. Years ago, we tried to do an outdoor concert. Boy, I worked really hard and didn't have a very good result from that. So, yeah. Anyway, tomorrow we'll start with Ghost Riders in the Sky baritone version. So take a look at those chords if you're on ukulele. Baritone players, get yourself together and be ready to play that tomorrow. And then, yeah. And if any of you are seriously interested in starting a ukulele group, I can absolutely help you with that. Obviously, you have 300 pieces of sheet music on our website. And then, like I say, what I know is the guys around here work themselves to death doing a theme every single month, and I don't necessarily know if there's a huge reason to do that when you have resources where you don't have to do any of that, where you can just say, hey, here's our book, download it, and we're just going to play out of this one, and that way you don't end up driving yourself crazy. I noticed those guys here in town who do library classes work awfully hard, and I don't do any of that. I'm just pulling off the same old stuff that I always teach, and that's what we're playing that time. Most ukulele players are not particularly picky about that, and the ones that are, they can start their own group, but most of the people are just delighted to get together and strum and have a good time, and they don't really care what song you're going to play. Half the time when you go those strum alongs, they're playing songs you never heard of and will never hear of again anyway, so what does it matter, So, all right, there we go. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Thanks for everything. I'm going to go over to the studio, and I'm going to work on, I got some baritones in, so I'm going to start working on getting those set up, and there we go. So have a wonderful day, and I will talk to all of you tomorrow. We'll start with Ghost Riders in the Sky on baritone. All right, and that's what I know. Donna just walked in. Let me get rid of all these people, because she is more important than anything in the world. Let's see. You're welcome, Barbara. Pauline, it's a fun arrangement, right, Pauline? Thanks for being here. Patricia, have a great day. Michelle. Yeah, none of the groups have met for over a year. It's they're online right now. I guess that's something. Evelyn, good to see you. Ronnie, have a great day. Jacqueline, Amy, Vic, Danny. Good to see you, Danny. Carol is have a great day. Lynn, see you tomorrow. Linda. Yeah, just pick a song in the circle, right? Sandy, great practice today. Good to see you, Sandy. Linda, Clay, Elizabeth, Michelle, Linda, Terry, Chris, Elizabeth again. Baritone. Yeah, working on your baritone, Elizabeth. Linda, you're welcome. And Jennifer. There are a lot of closet ukulele players, Jennifer. There are a lot. People get them off of Amazon. They buy one and they're messing around with it. They don't know it. They're going to YouTube and learning how to play a Billie Eilish song. That's what they're doing. Yeah, go. They need you to help them. Nancy, have a great day. Glinda, see you tomorrow, Glinda. And Jennifer, thanks. All right, guys. I'm gonna pull the plug. Have a wonderful day.